Rather lads, welcome back to the Cossy podcast. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to brand new video. The transfer window is already underway. A couple of clubs have already done some good deals. Chelsea have already signed Tosin Adebayo from Fulham on a free deal. I mean, the transfer window is already underway. But also Arsenal have confirmed some deals, especially in terms of players' contracts running down. And also, we have some departures that are going to definitely happen in this video. Part 1 of the all Arsenal done deals and confirmed transfers. We're going to be talking about who is leaving Arsenal this summer, who is confirmed to leave, and whose future is actually hanging by a thread. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you so much for the support. We are very close to 80,000 subscribers, and on this video, if we can get 100 people to subscribe, we will be at 79,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. Let's get into it. Now, let's start off with Mohamed Elneny, one of the legends at Arsenal. Probably not a legend in terms of the football he's played, but also we would say a legend in terms of what he's done at the club, how long he's been there. I think he's been the last remaining member of the Arsene Wenger era, combined with the Unai Emery era. I mean, he's been there for somehow, slowly but surely, he's creeped into this summer. But Arsenal have decided to let him go this summer. He's going to be leaving the club as a free agent, and I would say a loyal servant, one of the players that I really, really respect in this Arsenal side. I've not seen anyone speak trash against Mohamed Elneny, and I would actually never do that. So for me, he's a player everyone ought to respect. He's a player everyone ought to love. Leadership, of course, Arsenal have got to now find that kind of leadership in another player, because when you lose a player like Elneny, you're not just losing pitch on the quality and quality on the pitch and that kind of cover. You're also you're losing leadership. You're also losing those qualities of a senior member of the squad that you don't have, especially being that we have a very, very young squad this summer. So Mohamed Elneny confirmed he has left Arsenal on a free deal this summer. Next one that has left is Cedric Suarez. This is also a done deal. It is confirmed. You cannot know how happy I am for Cedric Suarez to leave Arsenal. Now, I've got nothing against the guy. I think he's a cool guy. I don't know. I've never met him. But in my opinion, he has overstayed his visit at Arsenal. I don't think this guy was, a player. He was a visitor, and I think he's overstayed. Now, when we signed him, the circumstances then, in the January of 2020, were very different. Arsenal didn't have a lot of money to spend, and we had a lot of deadwood in the squad. So Mikel Arteta and Edu were looking at, cheaper deals that you could do, come in and help with the squad maybe for 1 or 2 years. But the fact that we are in 3 years, 4 years into this project, and it's still here, that actually didn't really sit well with me. But we can confirm this summer that Cedric Suarez is another player that is leaving Arsenal on a free deal this summer. So we wish him the best wherever he's gone. That is another done deal as well. Next up is Arthur Okonkwo, goalkeeper, one of the young goalkeepers that Arsenal thought would actually do a bit of a job and an impact in the squad, but he has also been left to go. He's being left to go after having a remarkable season in the championship last season. Now, for me, with Arthur Okonkwo, I think he's one of those young talents that have been maybe pushing to start games, maybe pushing to get into the first team squad and be second, the second goalkeeper at Arsenal. But the goalkeeping department at Arsenal is absolutely ridiculous in terms of its demands. Like, the only department I would actually equate it to is either you're a goalkeeper for Pep Guardiola or you're a goalkeeper at Spain. Like, you've got to have more than just the ability to save shots. You've got to have more in your game. You could come off your line quickly. You could, stop situations that other people don't see, like David Raya, according to Mikel Arteta. So I never saw Arthur Okonkwo as a future number one at Arsenal. And of course, not every player that comes out of the academy is going to be kept at the club. So Arthur Okonkwo, we can confirm as well, that is another done deal. He is leaving Arsenal this summer. Next up is Albert Lokonga, who has been on loan at the brilliant Luton. Of course, Luton have been relegated, but I thought they had a good season, didn't you? And I thought Lokonga also had a very, very good season. But with Albert Lokonga, there is confirmation from the player himself that he has talked to Arsenal, and there is the conversation did confirm that he is actually going to be leaving Arsenal this summer. Now, I have friends like Glenn Kirtley, Everything Arsenal. Obviously, we do a podcast with him that comes out every single day. He was asking me whether I would consider a loan deal for Albert Samuel Lokonga, or consider putting him back in the squad. And I've seen a few Arsenal content creators say we should have put Lokonga back in the squad. I am not convinced about his qualities. I think for a Luton, a Leicester, and a Crystal Palace, I mean, he wouldn't play in Crystal Palace's team right now. They've got Jefferson Lerma, they've got Watson, they've got Eze. In that midfield, there is no way Albert Samuel Lokonga gets in there. So I think for a club that's coming out from the Championship, maybe Ipswich, I would see him do a job. But with the pressure on this Arsenal job, you look at Declan Rice, Odegaard, Kai Havertz, Leandro Trossard. You look at that quality. You don't think Albert Samuel Lokonga is going to do a job in that team, especially in the pivot. Yeah, I mean, Partey is one of his kind. So I don't want Lokonga to be Partey. What I'm trying to say is, can we get someone who gives us a little bit of assurance? So this is also confirmed. Albert Samuel Lokonga is looking for solutions, and he is leaving Arsenal this summer. Now, I have heard that we might be looking at a potential loan deal. I am not really inspired. I'm not really convinced about this one. If Arsenal get a loan deal for Lokonga, it must come with an obligation to buy. So this one is leaving. Arsenal could get around 20 million euros if we do our negotiations a little bit better than we always do. Another player that I would consider really a done deal, not really done deal because he's not found a club, but it is Tierney. Tierney is one of the longest serving members of this Arsenal squad. What did you say? Yeah, I said it, and it's actually true. So when you think about Tierney, did come in under Emery, one of the first signings he'd made. And I think, when I think about Arsenal really going out for a left back, I'm like, don't. Because listen, the thing with Tierney is that he is a proper left back. Do Arsenal really have a proper left back right now? A player that has been socialized, educated at left back or as a left back? I don't think so. Kivio is a centre back. Julien Timber is a centre back who prefers to play on the right hand side. Alexander Zinchenko, his education right from growing up has been of a midfielder, and I bet that if Arsene Wenger had signed him all those many years ago, he would have played for Arsenal as a midfielder. He looks so comfortable in midfield. He looks very, very comfortable on the ball, but that is not what you want from your left back all the time. You must be able to do well and come out on top in uncomfortable situations. Alexander Zinchenko doesn't have that. So when you think about Takehiro Tomiyasu is a man of many talents. He can do a little bit of, barbering your hair. He can do a little bit of, cooking fish for you. He can do whatever you tell him to do. But he's not a traditional left back. So if Arsenal really want to go out there and get a specialist at left back, unless we're going to sign a player that really sits in that position, like Jora Hato, and there is a specific profile we're looking for, Tierney, give him a chance. That's what I would say. But Tierney has also confirmed that at Arsenal, he's not going to be staying this summer. He's going to be looking for another club and finding other opportunities as well. Nketiah is another player that we have talked about on this channel a lot of the time. That's why you've got to subscribe to this channel, because you will be getting the latest around the club. Nketiah is the primary target for Fulham, but also he's appreciated by Crystal Palace, West Ham, Brighton, and a couple of other clubs. Now, I don't see him go to Brighton, because when I think about Brighton, I'm like, there's Kairo Mitoma on one of the flanks. There is Joao Pedro and Ferguson in the middle. Do you really stand a chance with that quality? Do you want to sit on the bench at Brighton? Don't go to Brighton. Go to Crystal Palace. I think with Palace, you've got a squad that you can break through. I mean, Mateta has been absolutely ridiculous in the last 10, 12 games. But I think Nketiah and Mateta, yeah, that wouldn't really be a bad partnership. So I think it's going to be very interesting to see where he goes. It's going to be very interesting to see what he does as a player. But this one is pretty much nailed on among the confirmed departures. Arsenal will want to get money in terms of spending, in terms of bringing back into the squad. So this guy Nketiah is one of the players we are 100% sure is going to be leaving Arsenal this summer. And many people actually think he's still a good player. Many people think that Arsenal should actually keep him. No, not really. I think he's overstayed as well. He's become comfortable. Surplus requirements at the moment, especially the Arsenal looking for a striker. You've got to move him on. Next on the list is Reiss Nelson, a player that I 100% believe should have left Arsenal last summer. But of course, I was educated by Glenn that he had picked up an injury. So in the last 2 summers, he's been injured. And that's the reason as why he's not been able to, play with, leave the squad in terms of transfers. Reiss Nelson is a confusing one. Do you sell him this summer or do you actually send him in a loan deal? He's been on loan at Feyenoord, did very well there, came back, gave us a little bit of quality in a few games, and then this season he's absolutely disappeared. So for me, these are the kind of quality. This is the kind of quality you get rid of. If you want a good squad player, go and get a player like Leandro Trossard. Now I don't know if there are many players like Leo Trossard, but Reiss Nelson is not the squad player Arsenal should be looking for. He's not the squad player that we are looking at. He's not the guy that comes off the bench and you are 100% excited about him coming on. How many Arsenal players are really am I really excited about when they're coming on? Trossard, I'm excited. If Martinelli is the one coming on and Trossard started, I'm excited. Jesus, I'm excited. Tomiyasu, I'm excited. It's over. So Arsenal just need to find that deeper quality of players that can give us a little bit of the ability to change games. So Reiss Nelson, another confirmed player this summer. You will not see him again at Arsenal. It could be a loan deal, right? It could be a permanent transfer, but he is definitely going. Next up on your list is Aaron Ramsdale, another one that is absolutely nailed on. Ramsdale is one of the players that Arsenal fans really, really like. Arsenal fans really love him. Last season, I'm going to say he was absolutely blasphemed by the media and some of the fans that use social media recklessly, ridiculously, because they are in fear of losing their data. So they just want to put out whatever they can put out, especially on Twitter. But if we are realistic, where do you find a goalkeeper, second goalkeeper, like Aaron Ramsdale? Where can we find one? Can we get one good goalkeeper like David Raya? Like Aaron Ramsdale. Even Ortega, the one that we say, Ortega is good. I wouldn't say Ortega is as good as Ramsdale. Ramsdale could be the future of England. Ramsdale is going to be England's number 1 in the next 5 years. 5 years? Isn't that too long? Okay, 3 years, right? He's going to be England's number 1, and I don't understand how fans think this guy is finished. I don't understand how people think this guy is finished. Obviously, Arsenal have done him a disservice by bringing in David Raya, and that means that he's got to find a new club, settle into a new system, and all that. Him being at Arsenal as number 1 almost guaranteed him that England spot, spot. But don't worry, Ram. You are going to be great. You're going to do well. I believe in him. He's one of the people. He's one of the players I 100% believe in. Now, let's get to the players whose future is not yet 100% confirmed, right? Number 1 is Emil Smith-Rowe. With Emil Smith-Rowe, he has 6 clubs interested if we don't count clubs outside England. If we count clubs out England, at least 7 clubs. So Napoli is there, Brighton is there, Fulham wants him, Crystal Palace wants him, West Ham wants him. Can I go on? And I'm really surprised that this player is wanted by as many clubs. He's had a season that has been really, really, really quiet. Picked up some injuries when he came back. Didn't get right into the starting 11 right away. And of course, I think he started 2 games. So ESR is quality. I wouldn't really argue against that. But I think the reason as to why he's leaving Arsenal is game time. I don't think he's leaving Arsenal because he doesn't want to be there. He's leaving Arsenal because of game time. So ESR confirmed. Clubs want him. Arsenal are going to make a decision on him, and we will be able to know about it. Next one is Thomas Partey, whose future again this summer is still very, very anticipated to be stay rather than go. But there are rumors that Saudi Arabia could actually come in bossing around with a huge offer. Like we have said, when Saudi Arabia come in, you can make money in 2 years that you've not made the whole of your career. That was said by Kevin De Bruyne, not my words. So, with Partey, I reckon Arsenal would love to keep. I reckon the player would love to stay. But it's going to depend on the offers. If a good offer comes in for the player and Arsenal, he will leave. If a good offer fails to arrive, he will leave next summer as a free deal, as a free agent. That is also not very good for me to say, but that is what's going to happen. Next one is Alexander Zinchenko, future not decided. I would say with Alexander Zinchenko that it's going to depend on what Mikel Arteta's plan for him is. If he thinks that his surplus requirements, then Zinchenko will leave. But I know he loves him. We know he's worked with him. We know he understands him. Won't be surprised if Alexander Zinchenko stays at Arsenal. And lastly is Gabriel Jesus, another player that, of course, we have always disagreed with when it came to me and Glenn. Glenn thinks he's a definite keep. Personally, at 265k a week, you've got to deliver. So this season, if he stays, he's got to deliver. But if Arsenal get a good offer and they can clear off those wages of the wage bill, why not? Sell him and replace him well. That is the first part of the all done deals and confirmed transfers. Arsenal in June will come back tomorrow with the all done deals, Arsenal incoming deals. June, and obviously this series will continue in July, August, and September. We'll see you right in the next one.